front shot. Oh my!
Here to celebrate Georgetown! The Georgetown Raiders are Buckland Cup champions!
The Trenton Golden Hawks, the R.W. Hewitt Cup champions, are going to Coburg.
Back to Minerva. Shot scores! And the Coburg Cougars are the Royal Bank Cup champions!
Hockey fans around 16 Mile Creek have waited 9 years to hear it. Your Oakville Blades, OJHL Buckland Cup champions.
The race for Eastern supremacy heats up as Wellington and Trenton try to stay in lockstep as they chase that division crown. More on that coming right up. This is the OJ Today. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Alex Bastiavansky. Tons to cover today. The OJHL's Director of Business Development, Rick Morocco, is going to join me to discuss some of the big events taking place in the league this season. Also, we'll have a feature story on Trenton's Sam Duchene challenging for the OJHL scoring title as a defenseman, if you can believe it. That's later on in the show. But first, highlights, and Sam's Golden Hawks have been battling Wellington all season long for top spot out east. Lose a game and you lose a step in the race. Now, shockingly, Trenton went down to last place Lindsay earlier in the weekend, so they were anxious to bounce back against Coburg on Monday. OJ Highlights now brought to you by BioSteel. BioSteel, the official isotonic beverage of the OJHL. Trenton smoked Coburg 6-1 the first time they faced off this year, so the Cougars were looking for a better result this time, but Sam Duchene continuing his hot play, and he makes it 1-zip for the Hawks. Second frame, they would add to it. Dershan Stewart gives up the big, fat, juicy, delicious rebound. Cameron Gaylor dining out on it. 2-zip for Trenton. Cue the comeback, though. Brody McDougall, the tip out front right there, past Oliver Troop, and they cut the deficit to a single goal. Third frame, they knot things up. George Krotiris stick to puck out front, and they were all kinds of pumped, tied up at 2 apiece, but the Hawks would prevail. Brutal giveaway by the Cougars. Wyatt George, kaboom, gives the Hawks the lead and ultimately the win. They would add one more to make it a 4-2 final and stay perfect against Coburg thus far this season. The day previous, the G-Hawks headed west to take on the North York Rangers. After a scoreless first, it's guess who? Mr. Duchene, if you please, on the power play, takes his time and then rips it past James Gray. What a season this guy's having. 1-zip for Trenton. 5 minutes later, though, look at the hands on Miles Perry here. The no-look shot past Oliver Troop. What a wrister. NYR tying it up at 1 apiece. 4 minutes after that, Colin Vandenherk refusing to give up on the play. Second effort beats Gray. G-Hawks retake the lead, and it's 2-1. They would make it 3, and then Jackson Boyer turning on the Jets, and oops, 5-hole on Gray, who saw more rubber than the 401 in the second period. It was 5-1 at the break. Third period, North York at least gets a nice one back. El Capitan, Tyler Flack, sprung in the break, sweet dangles, and yeah, catch the monkey off his back after going goalless in his previous 8 games. Awesome goal. Too little too late on this day as Trenton continues to roll, taking down the Rangers by a 5-2 count, and they stay on top of the East Division just barely, though, because hot on their heels are the Wellington Dukes, and they were in Whitby to take on the Fury. Chucking the body around. Brett Humberstone rocking Marcus Regina early on, and then late in the first, the Dukes on the power play. Jake Gagnon continuing his torrid scoring pace up near the top of the OJ scoring lead. He makes it 1-0. Second frame, Matt Dunsmore sharp to deny Ethan Doyle on the break. The Dukes relentless with the physicality. Jacob Brackle's tattoos Blake Frost, but the Fury strike on the score sheet. Carson Whitson going shelf past Dunsmore, tied up. Third frame, Whitby takes the lead. Oliver Tarr finding daylight. 2-1 Fury, but just 36 seconds later, Ben Evans, nasty stuff, sends it off to overtime, where it's Mr. Evans once again In it goes. He plays hero as the Dukes of Wellington triumph 3-2 on the road. Okay, OJ Commitments brought to you by Warrior Hockey. Warrior, the official hard goods supplier to the OJHL. And Finn Brown, the talented young forward for the St. Mike's Buzzers, has seen his hard work pay off. Finn has committed to join the NCAA Division I RPI Engineers for the 2021 season. The product of the Toronto Marlboros organization, was also a draft choice of the Sioux Greyhounds in the OHL, but he's going to head south instead. Congrats, Finn. 60-second Spotlight is brought to you by College Hockey Inc., official partner of the Ontario Junior Hockey League.
Matthew Falls, forward, Toronto Junior Canadians.
There, in front, Falls, shot, scores! Matthew Falls!
I think every shift, what I bring to the game is just a hard work ethic. Good puck mover, good in the corners, battling with my teammates, and just overall all-around game from 200-foot player. When I think of this team, I think we got a great group of guys here. A lot of depth up front and on defense, two great goalies, and a lot of guys who like to have fun off the ice, but when the puck drops, we're all dialed in and we know what our job is. This year, I think our team, the ceiling is the championship. I mean, anything else but that is a failure for us, but definitely a finals matchup against whoever's in the East, and I think we can come out on top.
Matthew Falls doing what he does best.
This portion of the OJ Today is brought to you by Q-Collar, official safety partner of the Ontario Junior Hockey League. Hey everybody, welcome back to the OJ Today. It's not every day you see a defenseman up near the top of the league scoring race, but that's exactly what's going down right now. Trenton's Sam Duchene is the runaway points leader on his own team, and all year long has been challenging for top spot in the OJHL. Now, to put this into context, it's virtually unheard of for a D-man to finish in the top 25 of league scoring, so Sam's obviously been killing it this year. If you listen to Jayhawks head coach Peter Goulet, however, you got to look beyond the points to see all the intangibles the veteran brings to the ice each game. Here's more.
Ryan now loses an edge. Duchene now has it. Rolling, fire, score! That's a power play goal. And Duchene buries it. It's 1-0 Trent.
Plays like that have become a common sight in the OJHL this season. Trenton's Sam Duchene has been scoring points at a torrid pace. Maybe not entirely unexpected for a 20-year-old with major junior experience, except that Sam is a defenseman, and for much of the season, he's been challenging for the OJHL scoring lead. For Duchene, what he does on the ice isn't exactly rocket science.
I just play my game. I mean, there's not much to it. I mean, hockey's pretty basic once you break it down, and that's what I try and do, just break it down and play as hard as I can and, keep my head up to help everybody else.
Well, obviously Sam, leading the league, or up there in points. He's good presence on D, older guys, experience with major junior and that sort of thing, so he knows what he's doing. He helps out the younger guys, and he's a great guy in the room too, keeps everything light, but he's disciplined too, so it's good. When you have a defenseman that you can rely on as your main offensive guides, it makes it pretty easy for the forwards to just go out there and play our game and know we have a calming influence on the back end that's going to put up points pretty much every game. So
all I can do is just play as the best I can, and that's just defensive first, and then offense comes second. And I've been pretty fortunate this year to be able to provide my offensive skill, and I think that comes with the players I'm playing with. I mean, they're smart players, and they help me out a lot on the ice.
Yeah, he's an unbelievable leader. He's a great young man. You know, it's people are looking at his numbers and his stats, and he's leading the defense and scoring. And but he brings so much more than that to our hockey team. His commands respect in our dressing room. Just a great young man. He's good. He talks to me. He asks me questions. We talk about different things.
For Trenton head coach Peter Goulet, it was an easy decision to give Duchene the captain's C this season. For him, it came down to the P word, and no, not points.
I think it's his poise with the puck. He doesn't panic. You know, whether there's 1, 2, 3 guys bearing down on him, he doesn't have any panic. He makes the right decisions all the time. You know, and you can't teach that. That's something you can have 1,000 practices and show 1,000 video clips, but there's no teaching poise. You know, for a hockey player, whether it's a forward or D, whoever it is, and Sam naturally has that, and that's why he's so successful.
Duchene spent 3 seasons split between the OHL and the QMJHL before coming to the OJ. It's a decision he has no regrets about, and he's loving his time in Trenton.
Trenton welcomed me with open arms, and you know, I couldn't have asked for a better organization to go to. I mean, they take guys in and they make you a part of their family, and that's what happened with me. And I'm just fortunate enough that in my case it was me. And
since he played Major Junior, Duchene is ineligible to go the NCAA route. No doubt, though, he'll have his pick of U Sports schools before the year is out. But for now, he's focused on this season and leading Trenton to the promised land.
I'd love to play CIS. I mean, I think it's pretty special. But I'm not thinking about it too much. I'm just trying to, play in the moment and, think about that second. And I mean, right now, I'm mostly focused on our season and winning the RBC.
At the logo, fires, it scores! The captain and leading goal scorer for the Trenton Golden Hawks.
Yeah, what an incredible season he's having. Brampton taking on the Junior Canadians. We pick it up in the second. Matt O'Brien to Ryan Teverberg, and this guy right here just might be the best 17-year-old in the league. Nice. 3-0 JRC after 40 minutes. Third frame, Brampton breaks their goose egg. Ryan Holmes picking his spot past Christian Mattiacci. That made it 3-1, but Teverberg grabs his second of the day, right place at the right time to clean up the garbage and restore the 3-goal JRC lead. Michael Hill, though, gets it back to a 2-goal spread with a gorgeous solo effort right there. Nice. Late in the frame, though, Matthew Falls sauntering in and sniping it home, and that makes it 5-2. That is how it finished up as the JRCs grabbed the 2 points. OJ News and Notes brought to you by Scotiabank. Scotiabank, the official bank of the Ontario Junior Hockey League. And the CJHL came out with the latest national rankings. The defending RBC Cup champs, Brooks leading the way, but 2 OJ teams in the top 20, Burlington at 15, Toronto Pats at 17, and Oakville and Trenton grabbing an honorable mention last week. And on NHL opening night rosters, there were 121 CJHL alumni this season. The OJ led the way, though, among all CJHL leagues with 50 grads. In the NHL, among OJ teams, the St. Mike's Buzzers led the way with 10 alumni, including Mitch Marner, Max Domi, and Quinn Hughes, to name but a few. Not a bad list of guys. The OJ continuing to be the league of choice. This segment of the OJ Today is brought to you by Troy Hockey. Troy, the official apparel provider to the OJHL. Hey everybody, welcome back to the OJ Today, and joining me now is the OJHL's Director of Business Development, Mr. Rick Morocco, joining me for the first time this year. Rick, summer well in the rearview mirror, but how was it, man?
Very busy, Alex. We had a lot of things on the go. Introduced a new event with the summer showcase that we had, and that went really well, and now we're well into the season, so especially after the Governors. It never stops, does it? Another successful Governors showcase, which launched things off in Buffalo, of course, back in September. Attention turns now, next big event, to the OJHL All-Star Game, which is coming up on November 30th in Oakville. Just tell us, what can fans look forward to with that? Well, I mean, I think the big thing there is, our theme, which is past, present, and future, and celebrating our game. And we've got a lot of things that I think on the go. And obviously, the focal point is going to be the All-Star game, where we bring our top 19, 20-year-old players. And this will be the kickoff of our CHCH Games of the Week. So we're really looking forward to it, and we've got a great host in Oakville that's supporting us, and hopefully we can get all the fans out there to watch our games that day.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a day-long event too. You mentioned past, present, and future. Not just about the main event at 3 p.m. So what else exactly is going down on that day?
Well, the whole theme of past, present, and future really aligns with the fact that we're going to bring in some alumni, that are going to play a game. We're going to have, for the first time, an AP game, which is our affiliate players. So that's going to be our top 16, 17-year-old players that are affiliated with our teams that may be playing midget. So it'll get them a good opportunity to see what the OJHL is and look at some of the talent we have. Obviously, the All-Star game, and then we've got a prospect game. So we're really running the full gambit of players who've played in our league. They're going to come back and support, because this event, really, any proceeds that are made from it are going to go to the OJHL Foundation. Not only do we have the games, Alex, but this is community as well. We've got a free public skate in the afternoon just prior to the All-Star game starting. We're going to be doing some development for the initiation program, very young players, as well as some skill development for bantam midget players during the day.
Awesome, really exciting stuff. And speaking of huge events, one that just happened, Rogers Hometown Hockey came to Halton Hills to kick off their season 2 weeks ago, with Georgetown serving as home base, and it was a huge success, wasn't it? A huge crowd for the Raiders game, brought a ton of attention to both the Raiders and the league, didn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, you got to give Scott McCrory a lot of credit. I heard he put a lot of work into that, and it really showed, with the exposure that not only the team but the league got and the brand got for that game. Not to mention that they put over 1,000 people in the stands, and it looked great. It was crazy. This is all about community, and, I think our teams across, all our markets pride themselves about community. And I think there's a couple other events that are going to be going on for hometown hockey in our league, and that's going to be in Whitby and Coburg, I believe. So we're really excited and looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, so exciting, and it was a great event. The atmosphere was just out of this world too. What a best atmosphere I've seen at Alcott Arena and anything outside of a playoff game for a long time. So it was good stuff.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of exciting developments with the league that have kicked into effect this year. One of those things being the addition of some key new sponsors, Warrior Hockey being one of them. What does Warrior bring to the table for the league?
Well, obviously, Warrior is a major brand in hockey and in the sporting equipment, industry for hockey players. You see a lot of players in the National Hockey League, wearing the brand. What it brings for us is obviously credibility to have a brand such as Warrior wanting to partner with the OJHL, and they've got great product. So all of our teams are going to be using, the hard goods. They're going to be the supplier league-wide for us. But they're also supporting us with some of our other initiatives through the year as a major sponsor. So
excellent. One more thing, we got about a minute 45 here, so you got a little bit of time to talk here. I'm not going to rush you too much, but one thing you did mention off the top was the OJHL Foundation, and it really is something that's near and dear to your heart. It's now in its second season, I believe I've got that right, since we launched the showcase in 2018 in Buffalo. It's really taken off. I know it played a huge part of this year's showcase with kids being in there, taking classes, getting advice. Tell us more about it.
Well, the OJHL Foundation is really about, us developing young players through the sport of hockey. But it's more than that. I mean, it's a support organization. We're really trying to drive home, development of our players off the ice in the mental aspect of the game. So we created, the First Assist program, which is a mental wellness program. We learned a lot from that from the first year. It's the only kind of program of its kind in North America, and it was developed specifically for our aged players group. We're looking at expanding that down the road, so that's very exciting for us, not only to other players playing at younger levels, but maybe in other markets, over the course of the next few years as we phase things in. It's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of support, from around our league and from people. And if people are interested in supporting us, they can go to ojhlfoundation.ca and check out, the resources and ways they can support us.
Excellent, Rick. Great job. And it's been really exciting watching that foundation take off as well. It's for a great cause. Thanks so much, buddy, and I will see you out there at the rink.
Absolutely, Alex. Thank you very much. It was my pleasure.
More OJ Today coming up in just a moment.
Point right side. Snapshot, deflected, score! Gutierrez bangs it home. Cougars tied at 2.
This segment of the OJ Today is brought to you by Scotiabank. Scotiabank, the official bank of the OJHL. Hey everyone, welcome back to the OJ Today. It's been a rough stretch for the Aurora Tigers that actually goes well back into last year. After leading the North Division for most of last season, the Tigers went into an absolute free fall down the stretch and nearly missed the playoffs. Mercifully, they were put out of their misery in the first round, but unfortunately for the Cats, this campaign has started off just as rough. Through their first 11 games, they'd yet to notch a single victory. But finally, last weekend, they managed to get that monkey off their back against Collingwood.
Yeah, honestly, the Tigers' record should be better than what it is. They've lost some tough one-goal games to good teams. They draw first blood, $1.16 in. Caleb Nelson somehow squeezing it past Nick D'Onofrio. 1-zip Tigers. Late in the first, though, follow the bouncing puck because Jacob Campbell sure does, and puts it home right there. No scoring the rest of the way, so it was off to overtime.
Leas goes to the net. Cross ice pass to Bala. Back to Clark. Clark to Leas. One timer, the score! Tigers win it in overtime! The monkey's off the back! Let the fat lady sing! Tigers win 2-1 here tonight!
Yeah, I hope they kept the monkey away from the fat lady. Kevin Dean with the epic call there. Buffalo and Georgetown. Early on, Chase Clark, monster stop. Getting the paddle down to deny the Raiders. G-Town hits first though. Ryan Brown to Spencer Hazel. And it's 1-0 for the home squad. And 3 minutes later, Ethan Ritchie floating one in from the point. And in it goes. 2-zip for the red and black. Second period though. A slight miscue here. Alex Vendette just serves it right up for Ethan Luisos, who accepts the gift, and it goes. Raiders hit right back though. Nice passing. Grant Spence will finish it off, and G-Town regains the 2-goal advantage. But then it's the Raiders getting sloppy again. Coughing it up to Colby Seitz. The twine bulges, and it's 3-2. But then it's Graham McCrory going to work too fast, too good. Look at the speed. Beats Clark, and that made it a 4-2 game. G-Town would add 2 more in the third to make it a 6-2 final over their American visitors. Brantford, another team with a strong start to the year. Just 2 losses in its first 10 games. Facing Milton, pick it up in the second, tied 1-1. Liam Stevens pounces on the turnover, and he makes it 1-zip 99ers. Midway through the frame, Aaron Sherratt slides it past Forbes Anderson to give Brantford its first lead of the contest, and only 19 seconds after that, off another menace turnover. You can't do that against this Brantford squad. Eric DeDobler, the goal, and that made it 4-1. They would add 2 more in the end as the 99ers continue to look like a threat this season, dropping Milton 5-2. Okay, Mississauga in Toronto to take on the Patriots. All Pats in the first. They outshot the Chargers 21-4 and had a couple of goals to show for it. First, it's Peter Fleming making it 1-zip with the goal past Jack Irvine. Midway through the period, Pats on the PP, Noah Hippolyte Smith, and this baby had eyes. Roof Daddy past Irvine as the Pats took a 2-goal lead into the first intermission. Second frame, Andrew Horsley takes the return feed from Dirk Stadig. He rips the twine, and the Patriots were up 3-0 after 40 minutes of play. The Chargers stuck with him, though, and got one back in the third. Lucas Tellis picks it up out front and slides it past Mario Pescia to cut the deficit to a single goal. Alas, that is as close as they would come on this day as the Patriots hold off their divisional rivals and stay on top of the South Division. Speaking of which, let's take a look at those standings, brought to you by Jostens, the official ring and awards provider to the Ontario Junior Hockey League. Starting off in the West, Oakville and Burlington tied with 21 points apiece, followed by Brantford and Georgetown, and then Buffalo and Milton, 2 wins on the season so far. In the North, Markham, slight lead over Collingwood, followed by the Stouffville Spirits. Pickering and Aurora getting their first win of the campaign. In the South, the Pats, bit of a cushion now over the JRCs, followed by the Chargers, St. Mike's, Brampton, and North York. And in the East, Trenton, slim lead over the Dukes. They're going to go back and forth all season. Whitby in third, Cobourg fourth, Lindsay in fifth. Okay, the top 5 brought to you by Cliff Bar. Cliff Bar, the official energy bar of the OJHL. Number 5, Brampton's Michael Hill with the sublime solo rush here against the Junior Canadians. And he rips it top shelf past Christian Mattiacci. Number 4, Georgetown against Buffalo. The Raiders, Alex Vendette getting the pad down to rob Buffalo's Ryan Petosha. Nice save. Number 3, North York's Tyler Flack sprung on the break. And then just look at the soft hands as he dances around the keeper. And for the captain, that snapped an 8-game goalless streak. How good did that feel? Number 2, Wellington's Ben Evans befuddling the Whitby defense before roofing it for the tying goal. He'd also get the overtime winner. Quite the day for Mr. Evans. Number 1, back to Georgetown. The Sabres, Chase Clark. Watch this. Are you kidding me? Take another look. It's got to be seen again. Makes the initial stop, kind of flubs it, but then sprawls to get his paddle down on the rebound and save the sure goal. Sublime save. And that is our OJ Cliff Bar play of the week.
And that's all the time we've got for this week. Just remember, though, you can always keep up to date with the league by heading to ojhl.ca. And, of course, all of your social media options right there for you to check out as well. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see ya.